Hello. Yeah, I wanted to jump on today and talk about challenges and struggle and how I believe they can be a great gift to us. Last week on my video, I alluded to some of the struggles I've been going through the last couple years and the shifts that were happening lately. And so I'm going to go a bit deeper into this topic. And yeah, hopefully it can give you perhaps a different perspective if you're dealing with some challenges at this time. And yeah, so some of you know that I was diagnosed with cancer in 2015. And upon the diagnosis, I saw it as a gift. I would say in large part because I have a history of drug and alcohol addiction, and I got sober. And that was the first time that showed me that these dark times can turn out to be a gift if we really dive into the lesson. And so that's how I viewed the cancer diagnosis. And yeah, then things really got intense with it the last couple years, especially the last year. And my body was starting to shut down, and mentally I was really struggling. Just had a lot of bitterness coming through. So I was also getting aware that there was some trauma coming through that I needed to address. And yeah, it culminated, I would say, the last 6 months. Starting in October, I was actually at a retreat doing some sound work and started to experience some really extreme pain. And it ended up being kidney stones, actually quite a few of them. And so this was also in combination with the pain I was feeling with the cancer, and also just having really low energy. Felt like the plug was pulled out. And then in December, it really hit a low point where I was mostly in bed for about 4 weeks, most of the day. I just didn't have energy and was dealing with a lot of pain, and the kidney stones were there. And actually my parents were visiting us. So that's when I decided, Lydia, my wife, had support with my parents to help take care of our boys. So that's when I let go and just surrendered to the pain and to the low energy, and I was in bed most of the day. And actually at that time, my spirits, my mentality was quite positive because I was surrendering to everything. In the past years, I've been doing so much work around this trauma and realizing that a lot of what I was dealing with was based off something that my body needed realignment with, and also that includes my mind, my spirit, everything. So I was always reflecting on what can I dive into here, and alchemize and reflect on and work on. And so the month of December was extremely intense, and I was even I was really discouraged, and that this cancer situation was just getting worse and worse. But I never gave up, and this has been the theme the whole time I've had it. It's, again, diagnosed in 2015, but noticing the tumor 2 years before that. So it's been about 12 years in this process, and so there's been times where I really felt the weight, just the weight of the situation. Having 2 boys, my wife, and knowing that I'm doing this in an all-natural approach, and realizing the gravity of all of my decisions and situation. But I've never given up. Never given up. There's been times where I felt like it, and there's been times where I was in the victim mode with it. And just sometimes not wanting to continue. And in early January, there was a moment where I realized that I have to really step things up with what I'm doing, taking care of myself. And because I realized that time is of the essence here, and things started to get a little bit better, actually. Diving into all these physical things I was doing with detox, meditation and visualization, and just working on my mentality also. And just working with, for me, it was this bitterness that I felt coming through, and really alchemizing that process. And then I started feeling better and better, and the energy was starting to come back, that I hadn't had in a long time. The last even 5 years, I felt just kind of never able to catch up. Always felt like I was running on fumes, really low fuel energy. And so this was the first time I felt this charge coming through. And yeah, and then I recorded a video last week, and something also happened since then. And I'll rewind here a few weeks. Yeah, a few weeks ago I noticed that it felt like the tumor was getting a little bit smaller. And I was like, no, that can't be. And then actually last week or two, especially last week, it got noticeably smaller. And I can't even describe how grateful I am for that and how that feels. And yeah, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off that I've never felt before. And I feel like I've come back into alignment for the first time, maybe ever in this lifetime. And so the point of all this is, you know, whatever we're going through, no matter how hard it gets, and no matter how unjust it feels to us, as long as we stick to continuing taking another step, even if all we can do in one day is get up out of bed, but just continuing to reflect on, what is this trying to show me? And is this trying to show me a different path? Because I believe these things come into our life to show us a different path. And it's often a path that we really desire deeply, but we're so programmed with all this other stuff, and we're not able to see it yet. So yeah, I am grateful that for the first time in this process that I've been in for 12 years, the tumor is shrinking. And I've believed this whole time that I know the body can heal in the most dire circumstances. And I know the body can do it completely natural. This is my belief, has been my belief. And now, for the first time, not only do I believe it, I'm experiencing it. I'm witnessing it. And I have to say, it's surprising me how it's happening like this. I mean, on one hand, because it's happening so quick in the last couple weeks. But I guess on the other hand, it has been a long journey. And it's not over. I'm still having to continue everything I'm doing. And yeah, I'm just going to continue on this path. And I know that we are going through a lot of changes in the world right now. So there's personal stuff that's happening for us, and also the macro events of a crumbling world, and also something new wanting to be birthed through all of us. And I just wanted to share that with you to, hopefully, maybe give you a different perspective if you're challenging, and whatever challenging you're faced with right now, I hope you can trust that it's for the highest good, even if it doesn't feel like this in the moment. All right, I will leave it there. Wish you a nice rest of the day wherever you are, and see you on the next one.